everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cassandra, and if you are new, please hit that subscribe button because on this channel I try to share new inspiration and DIYs on a budget. So for the first project, I decided I wanted to do these little sweetheart gnomes. Now, what I did was I found some of my little wood rounds that I've had these little pieces forever. And if you don't have any, you can use the little smooth rocks. There's a lot of different things that you can do. Or just go out, get a branch, and cut it into little small pieces. So then I got into my box of scraps, and I found from my bigger gnomes that I make, I have a lot of faux fur left over. So I just put it in a little box for later. So I just glued that directly to the little wood round. It doesn't have to be perfect. I pretty much just covered the whole wood round. And then as you'll see, I go back in and take my scissors, which I normally never do with faux fur. But in this case, I did. I didn't need it. So I went ahead and I layered it. I had the pink, so I wanted to add the pink. Now, these little hearts I got from Dollar Tree. They come in a pack, I believe, of 10 for $1. And this is how I'm going to make my hat. So I thought it was super simple, especially for some people who have a harder time making gnome hats. This is so easy. I just took one of my little wood beads, kind of the smaller ones. If you have a smaller one, that's fine. Um, and I just figured out where I wanted to place it at before I put my hat on. Now, I did not glue it down yet. So this is where the little heart comes in play. There's two different ways you can do this, but I found this one was kind of more simple. So you just put the heart face down and then you literally just fold it over and glue gun it with a hot glue gun. Now, warning, this will burn your fingers. So if you have fingertips, good time to use them. As you see, I can't find mine right now, so I just used the wooden stick. Simple and easy. The trick to this would be when you flip the heart upside down and you're putting it on the front, find the middle of the heart because that's where you're going to kind of line your nose up with it. And then it's simple from there and you can kind of shape your hat. I would have to say that this was by far the most easiest little gnome that I've ever made in my gnome making days. This little gnome could be used in garland where you can just like make garland out of it, or you could actually put a little magnet on the back and put it on the refrigerator. I mean, there's so many different things that you can do. I actually thought about taking one of my Dollar Tree Christmas trees that I had for, of course, Christmas, spray painting it white, and then, of course, like using these as my little ornaments with like the little hearts for Valentine's Day. I mean, it's just so many different possibilities that you can do with these, and they're just so simple and cute. I just had to do it. All right, so project number two, we're going to need a couple tubes of caulking and a couple throwaway bowls. Now I got three for $1 at Dollar Tree. You're going to need some chocolate paint or brown paint. I just said chocolate paint. Now I did use some pink paint, I guess, for like the strawberry, but you don't see too much of it at the end. So it's your preference. I did add in some Mod Podge. You can also use just a stronger adhesive and then just mix it. Now, if you find that your mixture is really runny, you can always go back in and add either flour or you can also add cornstarch. They both work pretty good. I would just definitely add a little bit at a time, mix it before you continue to add some. Okay, so next we're going to need some clear glass glasses. Now, I found these two little ones at the Dollar Tree. So you can use these or you can use the wine glasses as long as it's a clear glass. I like to try to paint the inside. I think it kind of helps with the overall look of it. So I just went in with some Waverly chalk paint, and this did take at least 2 coats. So before you add your second coat, just make sure it dries. And Waverly chalk paint or just chalk paint in general, I think it just kind of dries pretty fast. So this project altogether did not take that long. Now that my cups are nice and dry, I went and got a piping bag and then a star tip. And then I just went ahead and started piping in or putting in the chocolate ice cream. Now you can do this several different ways where you can actually prepare a couple different piping bags and you can layer it. Honestly, I kind of just got lazy and I really just did the chocolate. I did add a little bit of the strawberry or, like the strawberry at the end of it. But so now we're going to go ahead and add 2 foam balls to the bottom of our glasses. Now, if you're using a taller glass, you might want to use 2 foam balls in each glass. And then I've got another thing of spackle, just plain spackle. I use this as more filler just to top it off. And then we're going to start building from here. Okay, so now it's time to start building our little sundae tops. So I'm sure you guys can probably do this a lot better and a lot cuter. I was just trying to do the best that I could. I'm not the best at baking or decorating, but I still think they came out really cute. Now this is where you can layer them. You would want to make sure each layer at least partially dried, if not fully dried, which can take about 24 hours. Just read the back of the tubes. And then once you layer them, you can start decorating them. You can add sprinkles. So for me, I could not find any cherries. So I just took some little tiny balls that I had got from Dollar Tree, and then I just painted them red. And then I took some of the jute twine, and I could not remember if the stem was brown or green, but I went ahead and I just painted it green, but you can keep it brown. Or you can just get some cherries already done. Okay, so for this part, now I know that there are some stickers out there that already have like the chocolate drip design. If you do not have a Cricut like I do, you could actually either find the stickers or you could take a Sharpie, like a brown or darker brown Sharpie marker, and then create like the driplets. There's so many different techniques that you can do. This is just how I did mine. Now, for that one right there, I didn't show you, but in the process of me actually trying to put the stickers on, everything was not dry on the inside. The top seemed pretty good, but the inside wasn't, and it all literally spilled over. So I pushed it all back in, and then I decided to take a ball and I cut it in half. and then I just took actual hot glue gun and then created my swirls on top of that. And also, again, if you don't have a Cricut, as far as like the eyelashes or the face, you can always take a Sharpie and then create your own as well. Now, for the top that I had messed up on and tried to go back and fix, I decided to make it look like it was dripping fudge, kind of like the rest of the actual, the faces. So I just drizzled my paintbrush with the chocolate or the brown paint and just try to do the best that I could with it. Now on to project number 3. Now I found these little dice at Dollar Tree. They come two in a pack if you're getting the smaller ones. Now my purpose of creating these or wanting to do this project was I wanted to add like the little marshmallow heads. Now you can add faces to them, but mine I just did them pretty simple. So I'm going to go in and I actually ended up having to do 3 coats of the Waverly's chalk paint, and I actually went in with ivory, but then I went back in with more of a white color because I wanted it to actually look like a marshmallow. So for the top, after they dried, I went in with the dark brown paint, and then I added a little bit of black to it because I wanted it to actually match the color of the chocolate drips that I had already printed out. And that was it for this one. This one was so simple, but so cute as well. Okay, so the next project, I went to Dollar Tree and I found a 3 pack of these little burlap heart bags. And I thought that I could just make something super cute with them. So I decided to make a tic-tac-toe little game board out of them. So I had these little wood browns that I have had for forever. And they were really small, perfect size. So then with my Cricut, I just printed out some hearts, a tic-tac-toe board, and then of course some X's. Now, again, if you don't have a Cricut, you can actually just use a Sharpie marker. So I decided to take the back of the bag and use that as like my actual tic-tac-toe board. And then in the front, I went ahead and just added the words love with some arrows and then tic-tac-toe at the bottom. So with my little wood rounds, I just wanted to make sure that they actually fit in the little tic-tac-toe board. Now, if you do not have the little wood rounds, you can always use some of the little smooth rocks. I know Dollar Tree has those as well, or marbles or something along that line. Now I just went in and I started adding the hearts, and then of course I'll go in and add the little X's. You can also take a permanent marker or a Sharpie and then just, make a heart and make a X. I also thought this was like maybe a cute little idea. I don't know if the kids will be back in school for like, Valentine's Day parties. So I figured I would do something here at the house and then make this kind of like a part of their goodie bag or their Valentine's Day bag. Okay, now the next project, I just wanted to make a little Valentine's Day garland. So I just took some of my bigger beads and I put them on little skewers, and then I just glue one in. I find that it's much easier for me to paint them. So just another little tip. I think that would be something if you did decide to do something like this. So I just went with ivory, the chalk paint, and then I went in with the other skewer, with the beads, and I painted those, a ballerina pink. Okay, so these are some little wood hearts that I had got from Dollar Tree. They came in a pack, and I decided I wanted to kind of do like a wood stain on them. Now I know you can use the Waverly's chalk paint and, brown, and you can put a little water with it, but I had a little bit left over of my wood stain, so I just went ahead and I went in and used that. Then after I let the wood stain dry, I decided I wanted to kind of add a little bit of color to it. So I just went in with the ivory and the pink and just kind of mixed it together to create like a just a little bit, I don't know, my own little creamy pink color. And now this, you do not have to do this step, or you don't have to do the wood stain. It's totally up to you. There's so many different options, so many different things you can do. I decided I wanted to kind of like just touch up the corner. I wanted to do like one where it's like going across the bottom. So there's so many different things that you can do with this. Just make it your own. It's your project and have fun with it. Okay. So for my little banner piece, I decided to take that 3 pack of the pink hearted burlap bags and I'll just cut out the front of them, making sure that I'm getting straight edges. Okay, so once we have them all cut, I just went around the edges to make sure everything was completely even. And then I just folded it over. And then I did like I do on my ribbons for my bows, just a ducktail. Now I did go up just a little bit higher than I planned on, but it's fine. It still looked cute in the end. So now it's time to start kind of putting everything together. I was going to use the jute twine from Dollar Tree, but I did have this other one here. It was a thicker one, and I got that from Walmart a while back. So I decided to go ahead and use that. Now, to help the jute twine go through the actual beads and through the little ribbon pieces or the banner pieces, I actually put it on the end of a skewer stick. I cut the end off and then just glued it around there because I needed to go through a lot of things. Now, there's no like particular way that you need to do this. Like you can do this in your own pattern, you can add some things. This is just my version of one of my little Valentine banners. Okay, so there are all of the little pieces, all the little projects that we've done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this little DIY. And until next time, happy crafting, y'all.